So let me just say that we are doing a gun buyback. And I can say to folks over and over again, one life lost in the city is one life too many. And it's just too much gun violence in the city. We know that people who come in contact with the criminal justice system, those who are shooting have been involved with the criminal justice system anywhere between 9 and 11 times. And just the other day, I heard of a court case where an individual was involved in criminal activity. This department did everything right in terms of getting this person off of the streets, getting them arrested, and only to learn later that he is turned back into the streets, which will result in more gun violence in our city. We need to get these illegal guns off our streets. The majority of the cases that we find in the city where people are committing crimes with guns, they're committing them with illegal guns. We learned probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago that 59 guns were stolen from a gun store in Baltimore County. Our fear is that they end up in our streets. And just last night we experienced another gun violence in the city. So for me, it's more than enough is enough. We've got to get the guns off of our streets because innocent people are being killed. Folks are being caught up in crossfires in terms of gun violence. And so I had a conversation with our commissioner about doing a gun buyback. I don't think we've done one in Baltimore since 2012. 2012 was the last time we did one. We took some 246 guns off the streets of our city. We are coming towards the end of the year. We were doing everything we can to stay under a certain number, and I'm not even going to talk about that, but you know, we are trending downward in homicides in the city, not as fast as we would want to, not as low as we would want to, but we're still trending down. We're trending downward in non-fatal shootings. We're down in burglaries and robberies and aggravated assaults. But again, you know, we need to get these illegal guns off the streets. And so we're going to be offering cash for guns. And so I'm going to have the commissioner explain the program. And more importantly, you all, we just need to get the word out because we need to get these guns off the streets of our city. Commissioner?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. All right, so our buyback is going to start on the 17th of December. And we're actually going to do 3 buybacks around the city, but on different days. So in each area of the city, we'll have the opportunity to give residents a chance to get whatever firearms they have in their homes or on their person to get them into those different areas. So let me tell you about the areas first. On Monday, December 17th, the Shake and Bake Center at 1601 Pennsylvania Avenue. And the time will be from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Yeah, and the reason we're able to do that is because on Mondays, Shake and Bake is closed. So we won't be interfering with, I want my skaters out there to know we're not interfering with your skate time. So it's 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., 1601 Pennsylvania Avenue. That's the Shake and Bake Center.
And that's on the 17th. On the 19th, we'll be at the McElderry Park Community Center at 611 North Monument Street, Montford Avenue. Again, that's from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. On Friday, December 21st, we'll be at Perkins Square, 2500 Edmondson Avenue, and that's from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. We will be buying back high-capacity magazines at $25 each, long guns and revolvers for $100 each, semi-automatic guns for $200 each, and fully automatic weapons for $500 each. Let me just say that I sort of equate guns in households to the current opioid crisis that we're having. If you don't have those guns in your house, they can't be used. One of the issues that we run into are guns being stolen. These are guns that are in the hands of legitimate gun owners that have them in their homes and they go untouched for a period of time. Then often those homes are broken into, those guns are stolen, and they end up committing violent crimes on the streets of Baltimore. So what we're asking is if you are a legitimate gun owner and you don't have a need for that weapon, turn it in. Let us buy it from you. If you have a relative that's in the same position, a legitimate gun owner that doesn't have a legitimate need for it, turn it in and we'll buy it from you.
Yeah, I want to say also to the gun folks who are out on the streets of our city who have illegal guns, bring those too. You know, because everybody's not in somebody's house with a gun that is legal. There are folks who got illegal guns, you got them in your pockets, everybody's carrying. I'm tired of all these folks who are packing guns in their pockets, standing on corners in our streets. Come on over to these centers, turn those guns in. We need to reduce this violence in our city, and we can't do it with you all walking around with guns on you, and it is creating a problem in our city, and we want it to end.
Let me also say that the gun buyback is totally anonymous. If you show up with a gun, first of all, we're going to ask you to have that gun unloaded, not to bring a loaded gun with you. If you're caught on the street under the pretext, and you try to use a pretext that you were going to gun buyback and you're found with a loaded gun, you're going to get locked up. It's just that simple. However, if you come into any one of these centers with an unloaded weapon, we can safely determine that you're there to participate in buyback. You won't have an issue. You won't have to give your name. It's completely anonymous. All right, so at this point, we'll take questions. Again, let me reiterate, leave the ammo at home. We're not buying ammunition, okay? Leave it at home. Bring an unloaded weapon with you. And again, it's going to be anonymous. We're going to have a number for you to call. For more information, you can call 410-637-8880. Do you have any questions?
Could you read through the list of $25 each and then $100 each, you said, for long guns and revolvers? And what were the other two?
That's correct. Okay, high-capacity magazines,
Okay.
$25 each.
Okay.
Long guns and revolvers, $100 each. Semi-automatic guns, $200 each. And full automatic guns, $500 each.
Do they have to work?
Now, if a broken gun comes in, we'll pay for it. We'll take it.
Statistically, people have done research on this and found that some people say that these gun buyback programs are ineffective. That essentially, you might be getting grandpa's gun out of the attic, but you're not getting them out of a drug dealer's hands. How do you respond to that?
I think there are all kinds of studies that say all kinds of different things. Our point here is that there are guns on the streets of our city, and we're signaling folks out there, we don't care if it's grandpa's gun or your gun, we want it.
Exactly. I could echo that. At the end of the day, guns kill people, and we want to get them off the street. So if it's grandpa's gun, that's fine. Let me just say that gun buyback programs in Baltimore have sort of a storied history. They go back to about 1974 when then Commissioner Donald Pomeroy did the first, and he collected over 13,000 guns, approximately 13,500 in that first gun buyback. So we're hoping not that we don't know that we're going to get 13,000 guns. If we could, that'd be great. But we will take whatever we can get off the street. It is what it is. We just want to get them off the street.
How much money do you have set aside for this, and what will happen to the guns that are collected? Melted down?
Yeah. So
we really haven't determined
Right.
an amount. Our focus is on getting the guns. So we believe that we have enough to get guns off the streets of our city. We've got some nonprofits out there, some philanthropic groups who want to help us in this effort, but our goal is to get them off the streets.
Yep. I mean,
What will happen to them? Will they be recycled or?
they're going to be destroyed eventually. They'll be destroyed in the same manner. They'll be submitted to our evidence control unit, processed, and eventually destroyed.
What happens if, say, Commissioner Tuggle turns in a weapon, that weapon is tested for ballistics and finds out that weapon was used in a crime? You don't know that Commissioner turned it in. How do you catch the bad guy?
Well, the point is that it's off the street. That's
Right.
the point.
And are you handing out cash?
Yes.
Yes.
So that's a lot of cash. You would have to have an idea how much is going to be coming in.
We don't have any idea what's coming in, but we will have money to buy back the guns.
To follow up on what you said about, there is some research that says it's not effective, there's some that says it is, but there's some scholars who suggest a targeted buyback, it might be more effective, and forgive me, I don't know how it worked in 2012, but is this, is this like escalating price offer? Does that help? Are you targeting the kinds of guns that are used in the violence on our streets? Can you explain how?
Yeah, and that's specifically what we're doing. When you look at the fact that we are interested in buying high-capacity magazines, well, guess what? Those are the magazines that are most often used in our most violent crime. You know, if you want to say it's a premium that we're putting on semi-automatic weapons versus revolvers, well, yes, we are, because those weapons are used disproportionately in our violent crimes. And then, obviously, the most destructive weapons are the full automatic weapons. Those things can wreak havoc on a community. So we have placed a premium on those.
And why revisit it now? Are people more likely to turn them in around Christmas time because people want extra money, or you're trying to not hit a number? at the
No,
end of
we
the
just
year?
want them off the streets. And, you know, whether it is for whatever reason they decide to turn them in, you know, we're looking at everything we possibly can to reduce violence in the city and to get guns off the streets of our city. As you all well know, we've been engaged in a violence reduction initiative for over a year. And the conversations that we have every morning from 8 a.m. on, you know, is around how do we contain this violence, how do we reduce this violence. And this was something that came out of our violence reduction initiative, said, you know, here's another tool in the toolbox, let's see if we can use it, and let's see, and we'll measure what the impact of it might be.
And ma'am, that's a perfect way of putting it. It's another tool in the toolbox. You know, this crime fight, this violence reduction fight isn't one-dimensional, it's multi-dimensional, and we're looking at all of those dimensions.
All right.
Okay,
Thank
Thank you very much.
Can we also ask you about some other things? There was the 13-year-old who was shot in a situation this week. Can we talk about that? What happened with that carjacking?
That's an ongoing investigation. We're not going to discuss that right now. That's ongoing.
Thank you, everybody.
Touching on the assessment,